Welcome everyone to our exploration into the US cash system. A system steeped in tradition, yet facing criticism for its seeming reluctance to modernize. As the world embraces a digital transaction trend, countries like the Nordics and India are leading the charge with digital currencies while others opt for polymer notes for their durability. Our journey through the US cash landscape promises to be enlightening. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the criticisms and challenges facing the US cash system. And don't forget to hit the like button to support our channel. Even as we hold on to our cash, electronic payments are on the rise. It's an intriguing paradox, isn't it? Let's delve into this a bit more. The Pew Research Center, a nonpartisan think tank that provides information on social issues, public opinion, and demographic trends, has some fascinating insights on this matter. They report a significant increase in Americans favoring electronic payments. In fact, the number of Americans who go cashless for a week has jumped from 29% in 2018 to 41% recently. That's a sizable leap in a relatively short span of time. This trend isn't limited to the United States either. Across the globe, we're seeing a similar shift towards digital transactions. From the Nordic countries' embrace of digital currencies to India's ambitious demonetization initiative, it's clear that the world is moving towards a less cash-reliant economy. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite this apparent shift towards electronic payments, the demand for cash isn't waning. Quite the contrary. The demand for physical currency is actually increasing. This challenges the often propagated notion that physical currency is on the brink of becoming obsolete. It seems that even in our digital age, cash still holds a certain allure for many. There could be a multitude of reasons behind this paradox. Some people just prefer the tactile experience of handling physical money. For others, cash is a fallback option, a safety net of sorts in case electronic systems fail. And yet for some, it's about anonymity and independence from the prying eyes of digital surveillance. Whatever the reasons may be, it's clear that cash isn't going away anytime soon. Even as we embrace digital wallets and tap-to-pay cards, even as we flirt with cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology, there's still a part of us that clings to those crinkly paper notes and jingling coins. So, despite the rise in electronic transactions, the demand for cash remains strong. Interesting, isn't it? Now let's turn our attention to a peculiar phenomenon, the rise of the $100 bill. In the world of cash, the $100 bill has always held a certain allure. Its hefty denomination makes it a symbol of affluence, but recently, it's been gaining even more traction. Surprisingly, the $100 bill has surpassed the $1 bill in circulation. You heard it right, folks. Benjamin Franklin's face is now more common than George Washington's. But what's behind this surge in popularity? Some attribute it to inflation, while others point to the increased use of $100 bills in international transactions. However, a darker speculation lingers. It's suggested that the bill's rise may be linked to illicit activities or tax evasion, owing to the anonymity that cash transactions provide. While we can't pin down the exact reasons for the $100 bill's prominence, it's clear that its rise points to a changing landscape. As we move towards an increasingly digital world, cash still holds its ground, but its role appears to be shifting. But let's not forget about the lesser-known denominations in the cash family. Take, for instance, the elusive $2 bill. Unlike its $100 sibling, the $2 bill is something of a rarity. It's not that they're incredibly scarce or valuable. In fact, there are plenty in circulation. It's just that they're not often used or seen. Why, you ask? Well, it seems societal changes and accessibility issues have played a part. Many people find $2 bills inconvenient or unnecessary, preferring to use $1 bills or coins instead. Some even consider them a collector's item or a novelty, leading them to be hoarded rather than spent. So, as we navigate the evolving world of cash, we're left with some intriguing phenomena. The rise of the $100 bill, the underuse of the $2 bill, and the continued relevance of cash in a digital age. It's a fascinating blend of tradition, convenience, and change. While the $100 bill continues to flourish, the $2 bill remains a novelty, a curious case indeed. Coins, while durable and cost-effective, have had a rocky history in the US. If you've ever fumbled with a pocket full of change, you might understand why. But there's more to this story. To start with, the US has flirted with the idea of a coin transition a number of times. Remember the Susan B. Anthony dollar or the Sacagawea golden dollar? These were attempts to replace the $1 bill with a more sturdy, longer-lasting coin. There was even a brief introduction of a $2 bill, a note that's become more of a collector's item than a staple in our wallets. But these efforts to transition away from paper money have faced stiff resistance. The public, it seems, prefers the familiarity and convenience of notes. Coins are heavy, they jingle, and they just don't fold nicely into a wallet. The Federal Reserve has its own reasons for resisting a coin-based system. While coins are undoubtedly more durable, the Fed argues that transitioning to coins is, in fact, inefficient and costly. The introduction of new denominations requires technological upgrades, from vending machines to parking meters, not to mention the public education campaigns needed to familiarize people with the new currency. And let's not forget about the cost of producing coins. While it's true that coins last longer than paper notes, they're also more expensive to produce. For instance, consider the penny. It actually costs more to make a penny than the penny is worth. Talk about a financial paradox. The Fed also points to the advances in note technology, including the use of varnishes, that have significantly increased the lifespan of paper money. This, they argue, negates some of the cost benefits of transitioning to coins. So while coins may seem like a logical move, it seems they just can't find their footing in the US. The resistance to coins is a complex issue, rooted in public preference, economic efficiency, and even the tangible feel of a crisp paper note in our hands. And for now, it seems that's a feeling we're not ready to give up. Finally, let's consider the environmental and economic impacts of our cash system. The decision to continue printing paper notes has not been without controversy. Some critics argue that it's not about logistics or practicality, but rather the influence of special interests. After all, the minting industry provides a significant number of jobs, and any changes to the status quo could potentially threaten these positions. But the story doesn't end there. Beyond the economic implications, there's a more insidious issue at play with our paper notes. Have you ever wondered what makes our money so tough to counterfeit? The answer lies in the ink. Our bills are printed with a special, highly toxic ink that's designed to thwart counterfeiters. While effective, the environmental implications of this ink are significant. To understand the scale of the problem, let's take a step back and consider the sheer volume of cash we're talking about. Every year, billions of dollars are printed, and each of these notes contains a small amount of this toxic ink. Over time, this adds up to a significant environmental footprint. In contrast, many other countries are moving towards polymer notes. These notes are not only more durable, reducing the need for frequent reprinting, but they also avoid the use of toxic inks. This shift towards polymers represents a more environmentally friendly approach to currency that the US has yet to adopt. Now, of course, it's important to note that change, especially on this scale, is never easy or straightforward. There are economic considerations to take into account, particularly regarding jobs in the minting industry. But there are also environmental concerns that need to be addressed, and in an era where sustainability is becoming increasingly important, these issues can't be ignored. The balance between economic interests and environmental concerns continues to be a contentious issue in our cash system. As we wrap up our exploration into the US cash system, let's revisit the intriguing journey we've taken together. We started off by acknowledging the growing criticism towards the US for its outdated cash system, seemingly stuck in a bygone era, while the rest of the world embraces digital currencies and polymer notes. We then delved into the rise of electronic payments, a trend that seems to contradict the increasing demand for cash. A whopping 41% of Americans haven't used cash in a week, up from 29% in 2018, yet the demand for physical currency refuses to bow out. We also unraveled the mystery around the popularity of the $100 bill, which has even surpassed the $1 bill in circulation. Is it due to illegal activities, tax avoidance, or simply a societal shift? The jury is still out on that one. Our journey then took us to the resistance to coin transition. Despite cost-saving arguments, efforts to introduce $1 coins and $2 bills have faced public resistance. The Fed's stance on this, citing inefficiencies and costs, adds another layer to the debate. Finally, we considered the environmental and economic impacts of printing paper notes. From the use of toxic ink to the economic influence on jobs in the minting industry, it's a complex issue with no easy answers. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the US cash system. Don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking videos and hit the like button if you found this video informative. Until next time, keep building your wealth.